So I'm just getting that pulled up right now, y'all, just so that you know what we're doing. Appreciate your patience.
For what it's worth, Jordan just got out of an appointment helping a family, and I've been interviewing nonstop today. So we're thrilled to have a little break to be able to tell you guys a little bit about Symmetry and what we do here.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you just go ahead and introduce us, and I'll get this pulled up here.
So I'm Mark Newbauer. Welcome, everybody. There we go. I'm going to admit all. Welcome, everybody. My name is Mark Newbauer. I'm an agency owner here with Symmetry Financial Group. And joining me is Jordan Gillum, agency owner with Symmetry Financial Group out of Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm here in Phoenix, where we will be hosting a live extended corporate overview and training on May 6th, 2021. So ask whoever invited you to this about that. If you're so inclined to come to Phoenix, if you're already in the area, then by all means, come and meet with us and have some fun. We're going to tell you a little bit about Symmetry and what it's all about, what we do here, how we get paid, why we are the best and fastest growing IMO in the industry. Thank you.
Awesome. Can you guys see the screen at this time? Awesome, guys.
Zoom, when you share the screen, Zoom is like that person on the airplane that takes your armrest without negotiating. It like just takes over the screen. I'm like, part of this. All right, guys. So,
all right, so here, I'll go ahead and put us in the right direction. Here we go. There you go. So you can go ahead and kick us off.
Thank you. We're going to talk about who is Symmetry Financial Group, what do we do, how we do it, how we're doing, how we support our agents, which is rapidly increasing every day, the ability to aid agents and just focus on those income generating opportunities, how we get paid, and what makes us different. So we have been ranked among the top 5,000 companies. This says 4 years in a row. It's actually 5 years in a row now, Inc. magazine, and voted top company culture by Entrepreneur magazine as well. And if you're already here, you know why. And if you're not, you'll get to know us and understand why. A bit about us. Symmetry was founded in 2009 at the peak of the mortgage crisis. Great time to get involved with mortgage protection, right? But these guys did it. Casey Watkins, Brandon Ellison, and Brian Pope. We provide those who partner with Symmetry the opportunity to earn both time and money. We share the wealth of opportunity that exists in what has become a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So real quick, the reason they picked this industry, guys, is we often, we joke, but it's not a joke. I mean, we say that Symmetry is a personal development company that happens to help people with insurance. And the reason we chose insurance is because it's very conducive to acting with a servant's heart and helping people. And it happens to be one of the most lucrative income opportunities out there today. So take those two together and you've got a really great opportunity here. So a little bit about us, guys. Symmetry, you'll see here on the screen that Quility is the umbrella which holds Symmetry and Assuria. These are two separate companies that are now under the Quility banner. We're taking the strength of technology that Assuria had, the strength of culture and process that Symmetry had. We're joining them together under the banner of Quility. So you're going to hear that name more and more as we move forward on a path of expedited growth here as a company. Jordan, you want to take that?
Sure, absolutely. So what I'll be covering is what we do here as agents. Basically, we help families protect their largest asset. A lot of people think when you ask someone, hey, what's your largest asset that you have? You think of your retirement solutions or your mortgage, when really a family's greatest asset is their ability to work, their ability to earn an income. So how do we do that? And what do we do? Basically, we have a variety of different products that we offer. We have mortgage protection, which is the bread and butter of Symmetry Financial Group. What mortgage protection is simple enough as a life insurance policy designed with the mortgage in mind to make sure that if the family were to pass away or the breadwinner were to pass away, that there is something in place so the family can keep the home. It's as simple as that. Easy solution. We also have term universal and whole life insurances, final expense. We also offer health products. That's why our agents have a life and a health license. So we can also offer disability insurance, like income replacement. They couldn't work due to sickness or injury, dental, vision, Medicare supplement, as well as wealth management strategies. We actually have on here the #3 IUL producer in all of Symmetry Financial Group for last year. That's why we waited till you got here, Val, because #2, even better. Oh my gosh. I just know when we heard it, we all couldn't believe it. It was awesome. And so we also do like annuities, which is a great opportunity, not only for the family, but also for ourselves as the agent to be able to make a great income, as well as debt-free life, which I want to say we'll be hearing from someone today. Is she on the call with us today? I'm not remembering.
I believe so. We'll see. We're going to let it be a surprise.
Yeah, we'll see. And then go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, not at all. Guys, how do we do it? We've partnered with several top-rated insurance carriers, more than you see here, but these are the majors. Many of these are household names. And why we do this is this enables us as agents and producers to help just about anybody. It's really a great thing as a producer and agent to go into a family's home, or even when you're setting an appointment. Yeah, you can't help me. I've already talked to 3 people, or you get to the home and I doubt you're going to be able to help me. And when you show them, the wealth of access that we have, the top-rated, A-rated carriers, no matter what their conditions, be it diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, heart attack, stroke, we're able to help them. And that feels really good for everybody involved. So is there a need for our products? Absolutely. Guys, about 87 million households in the US, 7 out of 10 of those households rely on 2 incomes. 51% of foreclosures are caused by a death or disability. That was a shocking statistic for me when I first came here. I know foreclosures are a thing, but what I didn't know is more than half of the foreclosures in the country are due to families not being prepared or protected in the case of death or disability. And that's where we come in. 50% of men and 33% of women will develop cancer in their lifetime. Not a fun one to read, but it is a fact. And the average funeral costs between $10,000 and $15,000. Most people aren't prepared for that when it does happen. So is there a need for our products? Again, US debt statistics are staggering. We are a society of debt. Debt is on the front side, it's the sexy thing to borrow money and get this now and pay later and do this and do that. And at the end of the day, you end up with $13.9 trillion in total debt, 444 billion in credit card debt at an interest rate of 19 to 29% annual. Good luck getting out of that. $9.4 trillion in mortgage debt. When you do hear about debt-free life and see what the banks are doing to people, it should be criminal. It should be criminal. $1.3 trillion in auto loans and $1.5 trillion in student loan debt. So 90% of Americans know they need life insurance, right? Everybody knows it. If you ask them, like, well, yeah, if something happens, I want to be protected. But 41% don't even own a policy. And the majority of those that do don't have adequate coverage, Jordan. And that's again, where we come in. 37% of Americans have nothing saved for retirement. Not so scary when you're in your 20s and 30s, but when you get into your 40s, 50s and above, that starts to get really scary. We can help with that at any age with some dynamic products and programs. 63% of Americans are dependent on Social Security, relatives, friends, GoFundMe, or other charities at age 65. And guys, people are living longer, thank goodness. My son, my 11-year-old told me, little Jacob, told me the other night, and it was on YouTube, so it must be true. Kidding, but I think it's true. He said somebody right now among us will live until 150 years old. That's how much longer we are living as a society with things that we're doing healthier, with genetics, with everything. So time to get protected. Average US household debt. This is from 2019. It's only gone up from there, particularly with the COVID situation that we have going on right now. Average mortgage is 189,000. I'm sorry, 260,000 plus. Student debt 46,000. You can see auto loans at about 30, credit cards at 6,800 revolving. And due to household debt, the estimated retirement age for class of 2015 is now as high as 75 years old.
Do you want me to cover this page?
Well, you go right ahead, Jordan. Thank you.
Yeah, so speaking of debt, we have something called Debt Free Life. It is a proprietary product that Symmetry Financial Group has within its toolbox of things. Like we said, there's wealth management strategies and wealth accumulation strategies that we offer our families. Debt Free Life is the only one out there in the IMO systems and all the industry that is helping families actually use their life insurance to get out of debt. So that is one of the things that we do to help take care of this massive debt problem that America is in. We can help the average American family beat what is going on in like as a conditioning. This conditioning of getting into debt, and it's just it's just a part of what we do. We can help people get out of it. So all this can be achieved without them spending any additional money on top of what they're currently doing.
That's right. I might add real quick, Jordan, that special person that you mentioned, her name is Betsy Barr, of course. She is one of the top DFL producers in the country. Spoiler alert, unfortunately, Betsy won't be joining us today. She's actually, I believe, helping a family. However, I will say, between Jordan, Laura, Betsy, and probably even just one of them alone, I'm not exaggerating, we have saved on this team, just this team, not throughout Symmetry, millions of dollars in interest payment for families, and turn that into retirement income just the same. Very powerful, and it's proprietary, so no one else is doing it.
So yeah, so what we're here to show you is just where Symmetry is going, how they're doing. They just made some serious announcements about where Symmetry is going and how they're doing. That is just constantly blowing my mind. As you can see, basically between 2009 and 2014, as the housing market was trying to get back on its feet, Symmetry Financial Group was just constantly knocking it out of the park. I'll show you the past couple of years. Because 2019, obviously, we didn't know what 2020 was going to have in store for us. We actually, I want to see if that's even on here. Oh, this must be the old PowerPoint. So actually in 2020, we were not expecting to do much better than we did in 2019 due to the fact that there was a pandemic year that we had been handed. But we ended up doing 166 million in production for 2020. So one of the only IMOs that is actually increasing their production year over year throughout a pandemic year. And it is because of the support that we have for our agents in the investments that the company is making in technology. You all will hear more about that as you get back with the person who invited you to this meeting. It is insane stuff that is coming, and it's only to the benefit of the agent. So basically, we want to show you here in 2010, we were only helping about 277 families per month. Basically, we're helping about 2,500 to 3,000 families a week now, all over the United States. And I remember when I was new and I had came in back in 2016. Wow. In 2016, when we came here, I kept thinking, man, I must be too late. I must be behind the curve of being able to get what I want with this system because the whole pie must be taken. So here's how Symmetry is doing. We've done about a total of 398 million in total premium. About 300,000 families have been protected with $30 billion in face amount placed. What that means is that if all of our families, which I pray this never ever happens, but all the families that we have insured has passed away, there will be $30 billion paid out across the nation to families due to the efforts of Symmetry Financial Group. But check this out. That may seem like a big number, right? 398 million in total premium. The market that we are in, the markets that Symmetry Financial Group has their fingers in, it's a $2.52 billion market just in mortgage protection alone. So we're not even remotely close to we're at a quarter of a half of the way there to hitting that market. For final expense, that's another market that's 592 million. Debt-free life is an $100+ billion market that is completely untouched, that Symmetry Financial Group is putting their fingers in and basically taking the whole pie. Medicare supplement is a $36 billion market. Long-term care is $135 billion, as well as retirement being a $71 billion market. So if you were to say, hey, am I behind the curve? We're only 5.3% of the market that's out there. So there's a whole lot to come. I mean, Symmetry is only 11 years old this year. And so if you were thinking to yourself, am I getting in at the ground floor? This is the time to be here. So do you want to talk about how do we support our agents? Because that's really where all this growth and all of the opportunity is coming from, is the different ways we support our agents.
Absolutely. I mean, this really is the key. And as Jordan said, that's market capacity. So if you think about us fulfilling, capturing about 3% market share as is, on top of the fact that we're only 11 years young and the top IMO in the country, the fastest growing IMO in the country, and just a little bit of trivia, we are the biggest seller of policies for Mutual of Omaha, Foresters, and American Amicable, 3 major A-rated insurance companies. We sell more policies for Mutual of Omaha than Mutual of Omaha does, I believe.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's
awesome.
It's pretty crazy. So, and we're just getting started is the point. So how do we support our agents? Let's see here. We've got a couple different paths, guys. There's the owner and the producer path. And you can choose your path with the chance to achieve financial independence within 2 to 3 years. We have everything built into metrics here. What I love about Symmetry is that it is metrics based, and you can reverse engineer your growth, your path, your trajectory. We have access to the industry's top carriers, as mentioned before, and a proprietary program like Debt-Free Life, digital tools to drive leads and recruits. We are the industry's only true agency ownership opportunity. I can't tell you how much this means. I could, but we go over time here. Talk to your mentor, talk to who invited you, and ask about this agency ownership program. Jordan and I and a couple others on the team were recently, blessed with advancement as agency owners, and I can tell you, there's not a better feeling to know that your family's protected now with a business income that's there for life. So God forbid I were to pass away, Jordan were to pass away, or as some very successful agents did recently, just decide to travel the world and sell your agency. This is truly your agency. Once you become an agency owner, it's sellable, it's willable, it's transferable, and I can tell you 100 times better than a 401k. And I hope I'm not being crass there. It simply is, because it keeps growing and growing without market speculation affecting that adversely during down times. We have the most affordable and effective leads in the industry, and Symmetry actually subsidizes the majority of the cost of those leads. They cultivate leads as a loss leader, knowing that this is how we grow fast. This is how we help families faster, is by making sure that their agents, our agents, have access to the best leads in the industry. So it is a passive income opportunity with ongoing client engagement. And we'll get to this later, but we've got world-class incentive trips around the world, five star all around. We've also got a great program for called the wholesaler track. Let's say there's a P&C shop out there. Maybe you know somebody with a property casualty shop. You know somebody with a credit union, because who doesn't know someone with a credit union, right? No, but seriously, there are a lot of great places out there that could use mortgage protection, debt-free life, things that they don't have the infrastructure to support. Symmetry will go in, use their branding, their compliance measures, and they will build in an entire revenue stream for these agencies, eliminating any sense of competition there. It's pretty amazing. So how do we support our agents, guys? Again, the leads. I was in this industry back in 2008 and got out of it in 2009 because I loved helping people, and it was amazing what you can do with whole life and all these things. But I was spending 80% of my week prospecting. You're that guy at the Thanksgiving table, like, hey, Uncle Jim, are you covered? Right? Leads kind of take the stigma out of what the profession, you know, has brought upon itself. Everybody knows Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day, right? Nobody wants to be Ned Ryerson, but everybody wants to be protected, and Symmetry allows that to come into reality by providing us with an amazing lead program. This says 8 to 10,000 leads every week. We're actually at a little over 10,000 a week right now, and quickly climbing to 16,000 leads a week. That's 16,000 families across the country, new ones every week, asking for help, asking for information, asking for someone to give them that personal touch and help them with protection. So on average, it says 3,000, it's more. New leads are added to inventory each week with over 1 million in total bonus lead inventory. These are leads that haven't been helped yet, and they still need the help. And again, quick nugget here, nothing's gonna teach you how real this business is than when you're setting an appointment with a family that you wanna meet, and on the other end of the line is someone who's crying because the person that you're calling has passed away and nobody helped them. You know, the lead aged out and nobody got to it. So these are probably our most important lead base, and the best way for everybody to start is getting to those families who haven't been served yet, because there are a lot of interested families that need that help. So that's our goal, is to get you in front of families and automate that process as much as possible so you can focus on the income producing activities as opposed to prospecting. And guys, these are just some examples of our leads, just so you can get an idea. These are letters that people receive in the mail for our various programs and solutions: final expense, mortgage protection, debt-free life. We've got online lead generation backed by Facebook ads, Instagram, all kinds of great social media coming into play here. Annuities, IULs, you name it. If you decide that you're really passionate about helping families with that one thing, have at it. That's what we've designed here. So guys, we have a roadmap to success here. It's a proprietary sales system. So you're not getting on the phone or sitting with a family and kind of finding your way through things for the most part. We have scripts, videos, trainings, weekly conference calls, and leadership development that would equate to thousands of dollars of years if you were to seek that out yourself. We provide it all for free right here at Symmetry. And then we've got some great cost-effective add-ons that will really ramp up your business when you're ready to do that. Like our Ninja Dialer, I won't go in too much to that, but we've got some really great tools and resources that can help expedite your growth. One of the best things about Symmetry is we've got a mentorship program. This is one-on-one mentorship that you get when you come on board. Most likely that's going to be the person who invited you to this meeting if you decide this is an opportunity for you. But that mentor will be there for you, point you in the right direction, make sure that you always know what's next. We provide that one-on-one mentorship, weekly trainings and webinars, as I mentioned before. And we've got local, regional, and national training events, which last year were for the most part virtual, and now we're doing them in real life again. Our next one for this group is, again, May 6th here in Phoenix, Arizona, 2021, and looking forward to seeing you guys there if you're in the area.
Excited to join you for that. And I'll kick us off with the InsurTech tools, which these are just just a couple of them. There's more that have been rolled out since 2021 has kicked off. We have some programs such as Everplans and Owner Circle. Owner Circle, just to explain what you're looking at here, it is a website that is custom to you that you can share on your social media, that someone who's interested in buying life insurance, who may not be interested in speaking to you, can go online and purchase their policy through your website, and you get 100% of the commissions as if you had spoken with them already. Tell me that's not the most amazing thing you've ever heard in your life. You could probably think of a couple of people right now who would want to purchase a policy without actually having to speak to someone. That is what the Owner Circle website is, without you actually having to go in and brand it yourself to not only Symmetry, but also to you. Symmetry has that set up for you. We also have virtual assistant and virtual mentor. Virtual mentor is a Rolodex of all of the insurance carriers that someone could possibly qualify for, as well as with that Rolodex, all of the information you need about that insurance carrier, from the agent guide, the ability to quote it, running the application. It just takes the question mark of I don't know what I'm doing out of it. It takes that out of it so you can be quicker to helping families and doing the right thing for them while you're learning it. So you're earning while you learn, as well as the power dialer. I just got a text message from one of our teammates who just put up some serious dials today, and she only had to hit a green button one time, because then we have a power dialer that will auto dial through all of your leads without you actually having to sweat through each time you press the green button. I know you're like sweating. Wait until you make your first dial, you'll understand. But yeah, so with the power dialer, it takes it off of you, it's automated, and it just gets you quicker into helping families and taking you out of the equation. We also have leadership development programs. Like Mark was saying, you're going to hear it a bunch of times. This is a leadership and personal development company that just so happens to sell life insurance. We understand that we can be better for others, and we could treat people the way we really want to treat them, from talking to them the way they need us to talk to them, as well as understanding how people think, so you can ask questions appropriately so we all arrive to the same conclusion. We do that through personal development and becoming the person we need to be for the families that we're working with, as well as our teammates that we're hiring on in our leadership positions. So we have Thrive, we have the Agency Owner Academy, we have Connect, which is a women's call that is for us women in leadership. I'm obsessed with it because the insurance industry is predominantly male ran. You will never find another company with as many women doing big things as Symmetry Financial Group. And I mean, it's encouraging to me. I mean, it wasn't discouraging to me growing up and playing sports and being surrounded by a bunch of guys, and they're like, you got to have a girl on the team. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't discourage me. So I've always been the one girl on the team, and I'm grateful that I'm not the only woman who's succeeding because of how Symmetry has devoted their leadership development. And then we also have Giant. If you've never heard of Giant before, please Google Giant. They're a leadership development company where we actually stole one of their people who worked there, and he has now become our chief leadership development officer of our company because he is incredible. We love what he's about. He just hosted a conference call today, and we were all just like, we're all ready to go, ready to help people and ready to treat them better because of the conversations that he will lead you to have. So we're fired up with that. We also have we're the only IMO that offers not only a free year of life insurance for you in your first full year, because we do understand that you can't help somebody attain something that you don't have yourself. You can't have those conversations about, hey, how much life insurance do you have? Because it's hypocritical coming from a place of not having life insurance. So Symmetry Financial Group will cover you for free for your first year up to $250,000 of coverage. Also, they have a health insurance program that you can enroll in. The health insurance program is not free, but it is at half the cost of the market if you were to go out and get it yourself. There is no other IMO who is helping families actually get health insurance at half the market cost, and it's an amazing policy with a day-to-day and catastrophic health coverage. So just know that is there to support you. And then we also have one of the coolest things. I think I actually experienced my first one this week. It's called Quality Member Services. So when Mark was talking earlier about marrying Symmetry Financial Group with Assura under Quality, Symmetry Financial Group is great at acquiring, like a client acquisition. We're really good at obtaining the client and helping them get their first round of coverage. Assura is very good at maintaining that customer service. So what we did is we took it off of the agent to have to continuously reach out to the client and have to maintain that customer service so they don't lose the business and they fall off. They have highly trained certified agents who will contact your clients after the policy has been enforced for a year so that they can keep on providing additional coverages and you get paid for having to do nothing. So that is something that we have. It's called Quality Member Services. It is the only passive income opportunity for an agent with new business. So we're so excited that this is a thing. You probably can tell I can't stop smiling. It's just because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous what Symmetry does, and we're all blessed for having it. So we're excited. I'm going to run through and we'll be passing it back and forth here, Mark, with how do you get paid? Because I know that that's what basically everyone wants to know. So when you are coming here and you're wondering how do you get paid, first off, if this is not a surprise to you, I hope it's not, this is a commission only role. So you actually have to go out and put out work and help the family before you can get paid. So with our part-time agents are putting in about 15 to 20 hours a week of work, and they're placing about 6 sales per month. That means that they are writing policies, and they're getting an average of 6 policies approved per month. We get paid on a contract scale of 70 to 120%. You can earn raises every 2 months at 5% increments based on performance. There's also bonus opportunity, which we'll hopefully be covering that. I'm hoping the slideshow is up to date. So if you were a starting part-time agent, you'd be at that 70% contract level. That 70% contract is based off of, like when you get paid 70%, it's based off of what the client pays for the policy. Now, our average mortgage protection policies is anywhere between $80 to $85 a month. So when you're helping a family, you're averaging about 1,000 APV, annual premium volume, per family that you're helping. So you get paid 70% of that 1,000 APV. Now, keep in mind, most of our policies are paid on a monthly basis. The insurance carrier is advancing the agent 9 months of the commissions that are due to them of that year annual premium. So they pay their first premium, you get paid 9 months of what you should be getting paid right then and there after the policy gets issued, which is that 75% carrier advance. That remaining 3 months that have yet to be paid, once the client has paid up their policy 9 months, you get that back end pay. So I'll show you what that 6 average sales placed per month at the 70% commission is, about $4,200 a month. Now that's if you were getting paid 100% of that up front. We are only getting paid 75% up front, which is $3,150 per month. That's not a bad part-time gig, putting $3,100 a month in your bank account. Just on the advance alone, working 15 to 20 hours a week, this is a $37,800 annual advance. But then when you get that back end pay of that 25%, once the policy has been enforced for a year, that's a $50,400 first year compensation part-time. Will you cover full-time for us here?
So guys, full-time, the numbers just increase all over the place, right? The great thing about this business is the more activity you put in, the more income and gratitude you're going to get out of this. You know, we're all about impacting people, and we're firm believers of the truth, which is the more people you impact, the more income potential is possible. So we think about it that way: impact before income, right? Not the other way around. So as a full-time agent, you're working 30 to 35 plus hours a week. Again, your choice. We have people making a lot more than the numbers we're going to put here. But this is a nice conservative estimate for those willing to put in the work. You'll have 15 to 20 placed sales per month. Let's say you're at an 85% contract level. As Jordan said, about $88 a month for a policy, rounding that up, about $1,000 in annual premium volume. And then you take that 75% carrier advance. I forgot my snare drum. There we go. So as a full-time agent, you can see you're making $15,000 submitted, plus your commission. That's $12,750 that you've earned. Now take that times your carrier advance. You're going to get paid that $9,562.50 within a day or two with most carriers of helping each family. And that's an annual advance of a total of $114,750. Now remember, that's just the 75% advance. You've earned 100% of your commission level. And in months 10, 11, and 12, the companies will pay you that remaining 25% that they didn't pay out yet. With another drum roll, that results in $153,000 in total first year compensation.
You made me feel like I had to switch the slide.
Yeah, don't go fast. I'm not doing that math in my head.
I know.
So what makes Symmetry different? You have the ability to earn both time and money. Think about that, guys. we know what earning money looks like, but earning time is crucial. This day and age, the 9 to 5 is becoming a lot more passé, and people want to spend more time doing the things that they love, right? Because even though one of us may live till 150, life is still short, relatively speaking. You can earn permanent income in addition to temporary income. That's the passive income that Jordan was referring to earlier. And you may build your own agency and create system-driven income. And if I might add, a good portion of that becomes passive as well. Again, this is a 2 to 3 year path to financial independence if you work the system the way it's meant to be worked. So what makes it different? I covered this before. It's the exclusive agency ownership program. This is huge. It's true contractual ownership. And I explained earlier what that means.
You want me to explain the income for an agency owner?
Sure, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So when you get to the agency owner's position, right? Because of course you got to qualify for it. They're not just going to give businesses away. Basically, you have built up an agency that has 6 writers outside of yourself, meaning you and 6 other people are consistently putting up business. And also you have earned your way up to producing what is required for a 95% contract level. Because remember, you get 5% raises every 2 months based on performance. So as you're hitting your performance goals for an agency owner, you'll be at the 95% contract. So as an agency builder, you make commissions every time you help another agent make a sale. Because the way that the insurance carrier looks at it and how it really is you just duplicated yourself. You just hired someone for them to market their business. They're going to get paid their contract. So as you can see here, there's some examples here where the agent is at an 80% contract that you have hired. They've earned their raises. They're going to get paid their contract. But you will also be bonused from the insurance carrier the difference between their contract level and your contract level, which is where the passive income comes in. Because imagine if you had 30 people out there writing business and you had a 15% spread on anything that they were putting out. Now that's money you're making when you're sleeping. So that's why we try to build an agency also across the nation, because of your 3-hour time difference between East Tennessee and all the way out in California. So the difference between your contract level and your agents is called a spread. So if you can see here, there's a 15% spread on the agents that you see here. So the agency owner, it's at a $50,000 agency. That's what it's required in order to qualify for the agency owner contract. So the agency owner is still going to be in the field. They're still helping families at a full-time basis. They're still putting up the $15,000 in issued business. Now their agency's production, because remember, this is a $50,000 agency. Their agency is doing whatever is left over, which is $35,000 in agency production. If you have an average 15% spread with the 75% carrier advance, here's the income difference. You go from being the full-time producer, as you can see, you've already earned, from what we showed earlier, this agent is earning 10% more than the previous agent because of their raises. But not only are they earning more just in their raise, but they're also earning passive income that they didn't have to go out and go help the families for, because they hired someone and trained them to go help other families as well. So now there's passive income of $3,900 a month on top of the already full-time income of $10,600 a month. After all the advance in the back end pay is paid out, that is a $234,000 first year compensation as an agency owner. And so it gets a little crazy after here. So I'll run through this, and then Mark, I'll let you take over for bonuses and trips.
Jordan,
and pass it on.
If you don't mind, real quick, I just got a message from our call center here. Just kidding, but I got a message that I think is very valuable to mention, guys. And that is, Jordan, you and I are hosting right now. We're agency owners, right? So just so everybody understands how achievable this is. Jordan and I both started, we didn't know each other, but thank God we do now. She's amazing. And I'm grateful to be friends and family with everybody here at SFG. Just such an amazing culture and group of people. But, you know, when we started in 2016, I won't speak for Jordan, but I do know our lives were very different than they are now. We were different people. I'll just say it. I was broke. I was living hand to mouth. I do have a wife and 2 boys that I want nothing but the world for. And I realized I needed to do more, right? So Symmetry became a must for me. And it's a lot of work. And it's not easy, but it's very rewarding. And the reason I'm giving you that quick backstory is when I started, I remember being so excited about the first family I helped. It was a $700 some check from American Amicable. And my wife was like, what? Like you can do this again and again? And I was like, yeah, it's like it really works. You know, I just was over the moon. I saw it in my wife's eyes, like how proud she was, you know, and then I realized like, wow, I should have been doing this for the last, 20 years. But no time like the present. Here we are. I mentioned that because, going from that and me just struggling and learning and making money along the way, it's the cheapest education you'll ever get with the biggest rewards at the end. Here we are 4.5 years later, and I just want to let you in on what our agency, this is just my team. Thank you, team. By the way, you guys are amazing. My team in February did $88,548. In March, we did $70,613. I mean, these numbers would not have made sense to me when I started, right? We earn our way into different tiers. And so far in April, we're at $44,000 already for April, and we've still got 3 weeks to go. So, guys, anything is possible here. I've been doing this part-time since day one. I only mention this for your sake, to understand that anything's achievable so long as you're disciplined, you've got work ethic, and you honor your schedule. I'm running 2 other companies. I do this part-time. It can get a little crazy at times, but it's possible for you too. And Jordan, if you like, I think it'd be valuable.
Oh yeah. So as far as my agency's numbers for the month so far, we're sitting at around 25,000 in production. I'm very grateful for it because I know we're on the up and up. There, we just got out of a conference, which there is ever one you'll want to attend, because you'll never see a better investment for your business than attending a business meeting like conference. So we are on the up and up. We're at 25,000 currently. And I mean, we also have appointments running before and or after this meeting too. So we're
Right.
still running, and it's only Wednesday. So I appreciate that. It's an absolutely excellent opportunity as far as building a business goes, because I've only done 13,000 of that 25. So I was able to double myself and my ability by hiring and training other people as well. So what you're seeing here in front of you all is the executive vice president's agency. So there's no cap on production. There's no cap on compensation. So if you're going to make money out there, there's no cap on it. If you wanted to build the biggest agency that you could imagine, you could do it. There's somebody probably doing it right now within Symmetry, because what I'm about to show you on this income, this is being done by multiple people, and there's people who have surpassed this place. So an executive vice president position is about 10 times the size of an agency owner's position. So you've got about possibly 60 writers on your team instead of 6. You're obviously not in the field anymore because there's no reason for it. You're leading leaders who are building their own agencies as well. And on a $500,000 agency production, there's about an average of about a 15% spread, because you're constantly rebuilding your base shop, building and running your business. So with a 75% carry advance and a $500,000 a month business, you're doing about $900,000 in your first year compensation. Now I can understand you're probably looking at this like, hey, I just want to replace my $40,000 in income for the year. That's awesome. Just know that this is possible. There might be somebody on this call who's dreaming for bigger and better things, and you just haven't found a way to make it happen. This is the way to make it happen without having to have like a degree in something. You just have to go get a life insurance license. But yeah, it doesn't stop there. So Symmetry is all about bonuses and profit sharing. So we do have a equity bonus once you have, there's the top contract of 120. When you have raised somebody to also the 120 contract, you'll understand there's no split anymore between you and that person's agency. So Symmetry will reward you for that, which I know a lot of people would think, well, why wouldn't you want to just keep a 50% spread on everybody in your group? They will reward you with a monthly bonus right now, and it's about $19,000 per month at the bottom. That continues to grow each person you bring to the 120 contract with you. And with that annual bonus on top of that income, the executive vice president is making 7 figures. So it is possible to be a first generation millionaire here at Symmetry Financial Group. It is my personal goal, and I'm just very excited to have a vehicle that'll take me there. So yes, so I'll pass it over to you, Mark, if you want to cover bonuses and trips. We'll pass it
We'll
on.
be respectful because we got some great people following up here, and I know Val's giving me laser beams over there. I see it, Val. No, we'll be quick and respectful of everybody's time. Guys, we've got an amazing fast track bonus that didn't exist when we started. They came out with this last year. You can earn an additional $5,000, an invitation to Symmetry Destination Trip, which is an amazing 5-star resort, and the ability to hang out with these 6- and 7-figure earners. And then an additional $7,500 in bonuses that compound all within your first 3 months. We've got producer bonuses that add up to 5% of additional commission to your sales without you doing anything extra, and a Sherpa bonus that rewards you for being a good leader and getting your people up there. So unlike an MLM, unlike other IMOs, we only get paid if we raise people up. So we're very motivated to get the right people at the right time and help them succeed, because we don't succeed until you do. Bird dog bonus is amazing. I talked a little bit about that wholesale track. It's very similar. We can talk more about that later, but there's all kinds. Look at this: bonus, 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 bonus. We got a capital bonus that will add between $500 to $3,500 per month based on your production to invest back into your business. We've got that 120 bonus, which is up to 5% bonus override on the entire leg of the agency that you get to 120. And we've got equity bonuses, which is up to 3% additional bonus on Symmetry's entire net placed premium per month. So if you remember those numbers from the beginning as to how many people we're helping every month, and know that you can earn a percentage of that passively via bonus, my mind's blown, right? Equity appreciation rights. This is probably the most important one, guys, or at least the most impactful one to date, because the owners came out and said last August, hey guys, we're going to be doing some big things. We're investing millions of dollars in the growth of this company, turning it into what will be the Amazon of the insurance industry. And that's coming from Brian Pope, who's a deca millionaire, probably more, lives next to, I won't say where he lives next to, but there's wow, Brian Pope, right? So he's part of the brain trust behind this company. And they said, hey, you guys are building this company. We're going to reserve 20% of company equity for our agents, and we're going to give it to you based on your performance. So every single one of you right now has the opportunity, based on your building, based on your income, to own 20 well, you won't own 20, but you're going to own a piece of 20% of this company, which is rapidly growing. And again, 140 million, 160 million in revs last year, despite the pandemic. Lots of trips and incentives, guys. I mean, I just went over all the bonuses, and my cup runneth over. In addition to that, are amazing trips that the carriers pay for. Poor Joe Martinez, what'd you win, like 3 5-star trips last year? And because of the pandemic, he hasn't been able to go on them yet, but things are opening up now. And I think he's got a whole Rolodex of trips that he gets to go on as things start opening up. But these are fully paid. Like, you don't even put your hand near your pocket unless you're keeping your hands warm. Everything is taken care of. 5-star resorts, expenses paid. So go ahead. And these are just beautiful. By the way, these aren't just thumbnails that we picked off the internet. These are actual pictures from Symmetry people's trips that were kind enough to share these with us. So amazing locations, amazing people. Guys, what's the next step? Well, that's for you to ask, right? If this resonated with you, if this interested you, if this got you thinking, I want to know more, or you're just ready to get started, ask whoever invited you to this call, what's next? And we'll gladly point you in the right direction. We're looking to grow this family, grow this enterprise, and help you grow yours, right? So without further ado, Jordan, you're amazing. Thank you so much for co-hosting this with me. I act like this is my show, right? Jordan is beyond words. If you don't know her, you will if you come on board. I mean, she and Jared are just the sunshine of our team. So guys, without further ado, speaking of sunshine, I want to introduce a very, very, very good, dear friend of mine. She and her husband are so amazing, such giving people, such servants' hearts, and always willing to just be there for you no matter what you need, when you need it. Almost to a fault. I mean, slow down, guys, do something for yourself here. But I am pleased to welcome my friend, the beautiful, amazing, wonderful Laura Davis. Tell us your story, Laura.
Thank you so much, Mark, for that wonderful introduction. And you're so dear to my heart, too. I'm Laura Davis. I'm direct to Jordan and Jared Gillum. And I've been asked to share my story. So I'm not from sales originally. I was in nursing for 14 years before I came to Symmetry. I've been here for 4 years now, and I'm currently key leader running for my AO. Just like many of the other key leaders here on this call are. And I'm so super excited about the opportunities here and the future that Symmetry has. But like I said, I did not start in sales. I was in nursing for 14 years and I moved to a different state. I currently live in Tennessee. So I moved from North Carolina to Tennessee, and I had a choice to make. My license would not transfer directly, and they wanted me to go and take my state board test again. So I did not want to go do that. And, at the same time, I was burnt out, to be quite honest. I was over it. I was burnt out of working 12, 90 hours a week, 12-hour shifts, 90 hours a week. It was crazy, understaffed, all sorts of stuff that you deal with. So I went into timeshare because we live in a touristy type area in Tennessee here, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. I'm sure some of you guys have heard about it. So me and my husband, we took a leap of faith and got into timeshare. We were there about a year and a half, and the whole resort burnt down in the Gatlinburg fires. It was national news all over. So we had another choice to make, which was actually a blessing in disguise at the time, because we were trading money for time, and we had somebody else actually raising our daughter. We would put her on the school bus in the morning at 6:45, and there we go. We're off to work. Wouldn't get home until 10, 11, sometimes midnight. And we would have to go and pick her up. She's already in the bed, put her in the bed at home, and then do it all again the next day, 6 days a week. So we really traded that time for money. And when the resort burnt down, it was kind of like a burden had been lifted off of us, because we really saw the way that the company had treated folks that lost everything that they had. And we didn't want to be associated with that type of company. And we worked with Jordan in timeshare, and she told us about Symmetry. I was a skeptic. My husband was a bigger skeptic at the time. But we went ahead and got our licenses out of necessity, really, because there came a point where we were fixing up a house to sell our rental home in Asheville. And we had 2 mortgages due within 2 weeks, and we had $1,000 in our bank account. So I looked at Barry and I said, hey, we got to do something, because we're not going to be able to make these payments. And I jumped in head first, did everything that Jordan told me to do. I trusted her. I kept my head down, and I worked really, really hard within 90, with my first 90 days. But I thank them so much for telling me about Symmetry and sharing the opportunity with me, because this company has changed my life, not only financially, but now I don't have to sacrifice time for money. I'm raising my daughter. I get to spend time with my family. I get to go to basketball games with my daughter. And I was able to replace my income that I was making from timeshare within the very first year. So if you just put your head down, guys, and work really hard, get through that learning curve as quickly as you can, it is possible. You can do it. We had an agency owner who got to that level in 9 months, so it's not unheard of here that if you just put your head down and work real hard within the first 90 days, 6 weeks is really the first goal. Right now, we've got all these bonuses coming out with SNA, season new agent, and all of that. But you guys are in the right place at the right time. And there is no other industry There's no other insurance company within this industry that gives back like Symmetry does to their agents. There's no other true agency ownership that's offered in the insurance industry. So, the money is what brought me here, but the culture is really what keeps me here. So with that, I'm going to introduce our next guest speaker. This guy was #1 producer in 2019. He blew it out of the water, won a few trips that unfortunately he wasn't able to go on in 2020. Phenomenal person, great leader. I'd like to welcome Joe Martinez.
Thank you, Laura. Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up. Yep, perfect. Joe Martinez, guys, with Symmetry Financial now for 3 years. In April was my 3rd year. What I get to talk about today really is where can you go, right? And you'll hear this topic in a lot of our calls and Zoom sessions from all over our company, because it's just, what Symmetry offers is really just a game changer, right? Because there's so many things that only we offer that can be brought to anybody, right? Anyone can accomplish these things, right? So when we say, where can you go, right? As an agent, it's where can you go to jump into a system and create the income that you want to make based on your efforts, right? Val talks about it all the time, is I want to get paid to the value that I bring to the company, right? And this is somewhere you can come in and based on your work ethics and your work effort and how you impact the family, that's how your income is based, right? Where can you go to start talking to a family that has already shown interest in the products that you have and that you can help protect them, right? That's one of the biggest things, our lead system that we talked about. Where can you go to work a schedule that fits your lifestyle, right? And that you want to live, because that's huge, right? I was in the restaurant business for 20 years and, it was nice when I was young and single, but I'm now married, 4 kids, and life changes, right? And we evolve, and working nights, holidays, and weekends was not fun anymore, right? Because I wanted to spend it with my kids. So where can you go? And Symmetry is where you can go and work the schedule that fits around your life. And the efforts that you put in on the times that you decide to work is where you can impact your income, right? The big where can you goes, right? And that's on the building side and making this a career and somewhere you want to stay, right? Where can you go that you're able to jump into a system that has the marketing, the branding, the level of carriers that you can work with, so that you're not a small time business, but yet you are just you, right? You're building your business, but you're working alongside with Symmetry, and you have carriers like Mutual of Omaha, America, John Hancock. You have the marketing that they bring to the table. You have the lead system that they provide. I don't know anywhere else you can go to do that, right? Where can you go? And if you put your head down and do what you need to do and follow the system, in 2 years, income wise and lifestyle wise, it's a completely 180, right? Where can you go where you can decide who you want to work with? Because that's a huge one for me. Because let me tell you, in the restaurant business, people hate their jobs, right? And it's a toxic environment, and I hated that. I loved what I did because I love the restaurant industry and I love the food. And the fact that I had to go to work so many days and work around people that hated their job was so toxic, right? They would literally say, I hate this place. Why do you come to work every single day? Since I've worked at Symmetry, I have yet to ever hear anyone say that, right? Everyone has a smile. In fact, when you start to meet us in these events that we host and conferences and stuff, and you're like, these people drink some kind of Kool-Aid, right? Because why is everybody so happy? It's because they're only here because they want to be here. They set the stage of their platform of how they want to work it, part-time like Mark, full-time like us. And you get to decide. You're only here because you want to be here, right? So I end this with this last thing. is where can you go where you decide who you work with, who's part of your team, right? You get to decide who you hire, because anywhere else there's a hiring process, right? And someone above you or someone next to you helps decide who you're going to work with. Here, I get to decide who I hire, who I want to work alongside. You can bring your own family, right? Check this out. 15 years, I didn't get to meet my family, my brother and my sister. Where can you go to work with your brother, to work with your sister? Every single day, I get to have a great time. I'm making an income and we're impacting family, guys. I don't know anywhere else where you can go and do that. So I'll leave y'all with that.
Joe, that's amazing. Remember Wayne's World, we are not worthy, we are not worthy. That's how I feel right now. Like, to see your family there. Of course, I just got goosebumps and everything else. Guys, we've been going long. I was to talk about the value of building a business, and I'm going to go into that real briefly. But if you want to hear more from me, you got to be part of the team. Kidding. I am just being respectful of your time. But building a business here, for me, I'm just going to tell it from my perspective. Everybody's got a different reason. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to your why. And what I've learned about Symmetry and hearing dozens and dozens and dozens of people and getting to know them, hearing about their story, no matter what your why is, Symmetry is a fit. As long as you're willing to put in the work, and as long as you're willing to share the opportunity with others, once you really realize that, wow, this is it, and preferably sooner than that. I did it by accident. My first day, I had a friend join me, the amazing Steve Devine, and here we are working side by side, even though he's in Indiana and I moved to Arizona 3 years ago. But I want to, reiterate that from my perspective, I'm a part-timer, and some days I wish someone would just wipe my memory, because I can't get enough of everybody here. I can't get enough of the opportunity here. And I know sensibly, it's definitely the most lucrative opportunity in my base of companies. But I do have a film and TV company. And I also service the public company markets with a press release company. And again, I only mention that because, especially the film and TV business, I mean, I went to film school in Chicago. I've done everything from being an extra on set to being behind the camera to, you name it. And that's my passion. But if anybody else has dipped their toe into that industry or even jumped right in, talk about sales. It's probably the toughest sales position around. I mean, you're talking years to get a project off the ground. So it's not something until you hit that point of trajectory that pays the bills week to week, like a systematized process that Symmetry has. And when I found Symmetry back in 2016, it changed my whole perspective. I did it out of need. I did it out of a desire to do better for my family. And all of a sudden it started changing me. I started reading the books that people here are reading. I started engaging with the personal development, being on the conference calls, listening to how 6 and 7 figure earners speak, how grateful they are, how impact really is the key to everything. And it changed the way that I spoke to people. It changed the way that I email people. Since then, we've, because of that, my other businesses have grown. And we've now got rights to comic books and books that, I would have only dreamed about 5 years ago. We're opening doors that have never been opened because I'm learning from the leaders here how to engage with 6 and 7 figure earners. And at the end of the day, building a business here can be immensely valuable in terms of time and money, because if you put the work in, and mind you, that's the key, guys, all those numbers you saw, they're real, but they're real if you, as I said at conference, for those of you that were there and for those of you that weren't, it's to me the Willy Wonka test. If everybody saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory back in grade school, I'm sure at some point, all these kids get there and they just want the candy and they want the prize and they got their golden tickets. Well, this is your golden ticket. You get to come into the factory, but only a few are going to survive. And I'm not saying that each and every one of you can't. You absolutely can. But you've got to adopt that human nature, that part of your human nature that will embrace delayed gratification, that will embrace, sweat and sacrifice before profit and reward. To say, I'm going to miss the game Saturday night because I need to make my dials. I'm going to, double down on my work week because I want to reach a $10,000 week. whatever it takes, just know it's worth it, okay? It's worth it. And selling insurance or helping families with protection, it needs to be at the core of your business here, but it doesn't have to be your core passion. Many of us who came here didn't come here because we were dying to help families with insurance. We're people who love helping people, and we're looking for a systematized vehicle that will lead to passive income so that we can pursue other things in life. And the more work that you're willing to put in the beginning, the more you're willing to get out of your way, the more you're willing to throw excuses out the window and say, as Robert Kiyosaki says, the magic words, guys, how can I? Not I can't, not I would, not I should, not I tried, how can I? And you will find the answer, whether you like it or not. You'll find the answer. It will come to you. And all I ask for your sake, because I want everybody to get the most out of life and become the best versions of themselves they can, take your brain up on it. Listen to that answer and embrace it. I hope it's here. If it's elsewhere, great. But if it's here, talk to whoever invited you to this meeting and join the family. Embrace the hard work, embrace the sweat, embrace the hot mess, because all that stuff's going to be involved. But we have fun doing what we do, and we love each other. So we love you too, and hope that this is an opportunity that you'll partake in. Thank you, guys. Signing off. Val's going to kill me. I went way over time. Love you guys, and we'll see you soon.